Talking about the AI summit that has just concluded, an interesting event on all accounts. There were also theatrics on the last day. But one comment that has come through is that in a world of content creators, this is what some people are saying, India has chosen to be a consumer. What do you make of this question that is being posed increasingly of the government?
Well, first of all, I'd like to condemn the way certain congressmen, I don't know whether they had the directions from their leader, because it's quite possible such a shameful act cannot be visualized or planned at a low level.
But there are videos that have come out that seem to suggest that, I know the BJP is claiming that there might have been something more to this.
It clearly must have been at very high levels, possibly at the top of the Congress. And in Congress anyway, for the last 100 years, it's only been one family at the top. So I wouldn't be surprised if this had the blessings of the leadership of the Congress. But I want to condemn in the strongest words possible that absolutely shameless behavior of the Congress in front of 20 world leaders, delegations from 118 countries, to try and belittle India's achievements, the achievements of 140 crore Indians, to try and belittle our progress, our development, our offerings to the world, the opportunities that are opening up for our youth, I think was the worst anti-national act that could have been done. And I think they really need to be condemned in the strongest terms. वैसे तो rightly said कि वो वैसे ही इतने exposed है, इतने नंगे हो चुके हैं उनके एंटी इंडिया स्टैंड पे, इतने कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो चुके हैं, उनसे भारत की प्रगति देखी नहीं जाती है. मुझे लगता है उनसे भारत की सफलताओं से उनको ईर्ष्या हो रही है और शायद इसीलिए बार बार वो भारत को रन डाउन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. आप यहां सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हो राइजिंग भारत, उनसे राइजिंग भारत टॉलरेट नहीं होता है, वो वीकन करने में लगे हुए हैं. आप स्ट्रेंथन कर रहे हो, स्ट्रेंथन विद इन, वो वीकन करना चाहते हैं विद इन. तो एक प्रकार से दे आर प्लेइंग इनटू द हैंड्स ऑफ फॉरेन पावर्स, दे आर प्लेइंग इनटू द एंटी इंडिया, एंटी भारत फोर्सेस and weakening India. Otherwise, tell me, what a fantastic success story AI Summit was. We got response far beyond our expectations. We didn't know, imagine, I mean, you can look up the earlier AI summits. Nowhere were so many world leaders present. Nowhere were so many countries represented. Nowhere did so many people come out in such large numbers to experience new age technologies which will define India of the future. And I think I just want to make sure that people understand the evil design of the Congress, evil design of the Gandhi family to run down India's achievements. And to that extent, this is something which 140 crore, their own partners, every Indian feels ashamed of their behavior. As far as the AI summit itself is concerned, it opens up huge opportunities for India. Some people are too focused on areas like job losses. I personally believe, as do many friends who are from the technology field, this is going to open up a huge plethora of opportunities for India. Where else in the world do you have the kind of talent, the kind of skills that India offers? Where else in the world do you have youthful energy which our brothers and sisters, our boys and girls offer? Where else in the world do they have 23 lakh STEM graduates, science, technology, engineering and mathematics graduates, 2.3 million every year coming out of our universities and colleges, providing talent, providing the aspiration that young India today holds. And therefore, AI will be good for consumers, AI will be good for our young men and women will not only develop good applications, good solutions, good language models in India, but also provide talent to the world. And I personally think newer types of jobs. So you will see cyber security coming into focus. You will see data scrubbing becoming important. And for heaven's sake, Rahul, mark my word, come what may, howsoever much AI may evolve, there'll be so much data corruption, there'll be so much bots getting into databases that don't ever prepare a final interview or your talking points based on an AI search. You'll end up becoming Chatur of Three Idiots.
Yes. So let me ask you a question. AI leadership requires constant innovation, keeping ahead of the competition and so on and so forth. That requires R&D. What we are seeing, and this is a concern, and I've been speaking to people who are innovators and so on and so forth, and they say the percentage of R&D GDP, India is much lower than China or the United States or some developed economies in Europe. How do you view this? Has the time come to sort of change that?
See, every country evolves with time. So there was a time for many years we didn't have much of a culture of innovation and R&D. Things are changing. The government is also at the forefront of that change. What is Startup India? Now, we don't count the investments and the effort that our young men and women are doing or our startups are doing, but all of that is innovation. I mean, when they come up with these fantastic ideas that our startups do, the unicorns who have been very, very good at their work, all of this is innovation. Only yesterday or day before, I was at some forum where the Misho gentleman was also there, day before yesterday. And this question of R&D was posed to him. He said, 70% of my investment is all innovation, is all R&D. So I think a lot of the R&D spend is not captured, point one. Point two, previous governments never supported innovation the way the Modi government has done. First, we came out with a fund of fund, 10,000 crores, which seeded almost 1 lakh crores worth of investments into the startup ecosystem. We've already come out with a second 10,000 crore fund of funds, phase 2, where we are focusing that mainly for deep tech, particularly early stage deep tech, so that they don't have to sell out their equity at low valuations and lose the future benefits. We've come out with 1 lakh crores RDIF, the Research and Development Innovation Fund, which will seed again the private sector and the government together in a PPP trying to bring innovation into India. So this is the time. Other day I was with, again day before yesterday, in a program with a pharma major company. And the figures that they were talking to me about their forthcoming investments in innovation were really fabulous. I think India yet has to recognize the benefits of innovation and R&D. So the stock market, for example, has to realize that this R&D is the future. And R&D is going to help these companies become the captains of tomorrow, the big guys of tomorrow, which is happening. So you find reverse flip of many startups coming to India, wanting to list in India. Because now the stock market, earlier days it was not. Now it started recognizing that these companies which invest into the future are the bright stars which should be supported.
Just a few questions more.